Finally, dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao Allah, bonjour, good morning, good morning, good morning, privet. Hope you're well. This is Ken at 10, and at last we have it. The heavens have opened. It's raining, it's cooling down. Us Brits, we're funny, aren't we? We wait all that time for sunshine, moan that there's never any sunshine in the UK. And then when we have it for a while, we're like, oh, please rain. And it does feel a relief, doesn't it? It certainly does here in Southwest 16. Welcome. If you haven't been here before, this is Ken at 10. We broadcast daily about the property market and about news, what's going on right here in Norbury, southwest London, which is between Streatham and Croydon, if you don't know it. And we talk about property, we talk about what's going on. The rain is here. What does that mean? Well, it's the bank holiday. What do you expect? Bank holiday is what we always call it. But yeah, hopefully it's going to brighten up. The weather forecast certainly says so. So I hope you've got good plans for the bank holiday weekend. Just a word on how the market is over a bank holiday. Here in southwest London, what we find is that the market doesn't, contrary to what some will say, pick up. It actually slows down. Now, we do find a greater hit rate. And this is something that we find from all the portals, Rightmove and Zoopla. They all say, oh, it's going to be busy. Look at all the hits we're getting. They're getting hits because people are off work and wondering what their house is worth, wondering what's going on with the market. Got nothing at all to do with people going out and viewing. In my experience, the bank holiday weekends are one of the quietest times, and we tend to find it's a bit of a lull. But there is good news, because come September, when the children are back at school, we have the mum's market. When the children are back at school, quiet market. And I know that sounds sexist. You could call it the dad's market and all the rest of it. But the truth is, we find the emails come in from the ladies, and they tend to be the ones that drive the home hunt, and frankly, are mostly in charge of the home hunt from what we see here at JA. I don't know what your experience is or what your feelings are with your family, but I'd be interested in your comments below. Do let us know. But yeah, we certainly find that it's the women that drive the search, and the children's school holidays. You know what? When your children are off, you want to spend time with them. You want to maximize that fun. You want to go away. You want to spend your bank holidays having fun. And I hope you've got some good things planned. In terms of the market here, generally, obviously, we've got the recession coming. You know, there's no doubt, is there? You talk about whether there's two consecutive negative growth quarters, but the bottom line is, we all know it's tough times ahead, and we're looking at some people in awful situations of choosing whether to heat or eat. On top of that, here in Norway, we had the terrible tragedy of the explosion in Galpins Road, which is just around the corner from us here, and that was absolutely awful. So many people displaced from their homes. We did go to the community centre and help out there and do what we could. We managed to rope in next door's Domino's Pizza, and we went down there with some pizza to try and bring some cheer to an awful, shocking situation. And no doubt we will get to the bottom of what happened there. I have two thoughts on my mind. Question number one: was it to do with the fact that the gas company was working outside and residents were reporting a strong smell of gas, or was it something else? You know, I do think that we might find now that there will be more instances of people trying to circumvent the gas and electric supplies because they're desperate. And desperate people do desperate things, and that can lead to tragedies. And I certainly hope it's not that, and I certainly hope that we don't see more of that. But with the fuel situation, fuel poverty growing so greatly, you can't help but wonder whether that might be something that happens. In terms of the market generally going ahead, what we're going to find is more people deciding to stay put just while they wait and see and have a look if they can afford their fuel bills to heat their house, let alone moving house. On top of that, there is a clamour, an absolute clamour for new mortgages, and this is slowing everything down on the mortgage side. And I have to say, we've noticed a real drop-off in quality when it comes to conveyancing solicitors. I don't know whether there's a particular... I've got a feeling it's flight. There's this, I think, mismatch between what solicitors get paid per hour and the demands of their client and what they expect in a conveyancing situation versus the quick pile them high and do them cheap jobs, which are basically rows and rows of administrators followed by one qualified, often licensed conveyancer who often gets too many files on her or his desk, and therefore everything is delayed. But we're having a terrible problem with quality. There are very few high quality solicitors that we deal with in our area. Doesn't mean there aren't some good ones out there. There are some really conscientious and good ones out there, but let me tell you, they're in the minority. So if you're looking for a solicitor for your conveyancing work, make sure you do your homework. Do go on the web, seek out reviews, seek out feedback and experience from other people, because it's a minefield out there. We've had so many transactions recently which have been almost destroyed by solicitors threatening on behalf of their clients who had no knowledge to, for instance, withdraw from the sale. You know, it's unbelievable how arrogant that is. to actually suggest that your client's going to pull out of the sale when in fact your client has no knowledge of what you're doing. It's unbelievable. But anyway, there's a complaint going in, suffice to say, you know who you are out there. Apart from that, busy day today, lots of valuations coming in. Always great to chat to people about what their aspirations are for the future, what their plans are, and when they want to move. And for us, it's always the long game. If it's not right for you right now, that's okay. Let's have a chat, sit down, have a cup of tea, work out when might be the best time for you to move. It's not always the case that you need the market to be flying for it to be right. Sometimes the timing is just right for you or you and your family to make that decision right now. And sometimes it's the wrong decision. And, I was with a lovely couple yesterday, a lovely professional couple. We were going through the options they were looking at. Should we refinance? They're in the fortunate position of being able to have the chance to refinance and keep the home that they're living in. But that would involve possibly going over to a special purpose vehicle, buy to let, and converting that property that they're living in into a limited company buy to let. But there are costs and stamp duty associated with that. Or do they just outright sell, have more cash, and then move forward? And it's really interesting being in the middle of those conversations always. Never would we presume to make the decision on behalf of people or tell people what they should do, but we can certainly give guidance in terms of what it would mean financially in each direction. Although we're not financial advisors and this is not financial advice, obviously we're in the middle of these things all the time, and we like to try and give guidance where we can. Ultimately, client is king. We'll do what the client says, but if we can give some input to help them along their journey, then we're always going to do that. So I hope you've got good plans for your bank holiday. We understand this weather's not forever. It should just cool things down nicely before the sun comes out for a lovely long last bank holiday weekend before we go into the autumn. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you're well. Keep yourselves well, and if you can, your family and friends. Ciao.